Oh, all I can say is holy shit. Went from a quick, let's take a look, to, well, shit, half the tractor is apart now. So, what we're looking at is the transmission up here. The transmission fork would shift back and forth. Shifter moved. Pretty okay, I guess. And as you can see, there's not that much damage in here. Whatever oil was in here did a really good job at coating stuff and kept it well coated. Obviously, the top of these gears here have some crap on them that need to be cleaned out. But I think, now this is just my opinion, but I think I could do like Chucky 2009 does. Fill this thing full of diesel after cleaning all these top of these gears out and stuff, and then proceed to drive it and drain it and fill it and drive it and drain it and fill it and do that until it comes out clean. Here's the rear diff. Now don't mind the crap that dropped in here while I was working on it. There's some poop top of the gear there and over here, and that's about the extent of the poop. Obviously the bottom's got probably some rust on it, but let me tell you, I pulled the drain plug on this thing and it just was gushing water out. Nothing but water. And at the very end, for a split second, there was a couple blobs of oil, and that was it. I mean, a couple blobs. Now, the transmission, a bunch of water in there, but there was no real oil that came out. I mean, it was like a couple chunks of gook. That was it. And so I'm betting I could flood this thing with some diesel, and we could possibly drive the thing, just to put a new engine in it, and hopefully the clutch is okay. I got to see what the rear clutch looked like, I guess, the rear clutch plates. The whole back end of the tractor had to come off. I mean, we're talking, well, the inspection cover, the rear PTO, and then that shaft, which goes all the way up to the clutch, I'm assuming. And that was the first thing I took off. And then I took off the very top, which I had mentioned one of them shifters was broken. That's a good one. That's a bad one. That sucks because it's aluminum. If it were steel, I'd just weld the fricker back on and be done with it. But it's aluminum. I do know someone who might be able to weld it, but yeah. Oh, that's a job. Unfortunately, a couple things fell on the ground, like one of the halves of the hydraulic. Now, technically, I could run this thing without the hydraulics in it. Possibly. Should be able to, because here's a hanger bearing, so to speak. We should be able to leave the hydraulics out of it, because that shaft drives the hydraulics. And I'm thinking maybe if I could unbolt that section, and I don't know if that's the hydraulics itself or what, or if that's up in there or in the valve body. I think that's the valve body, half of it at least. What a job. Not as bad, and I didn't even have to really fight any bolts or anything, but finding out how stuff comes apart, and then it'll be fun finding out how it goes back together. But for being up in the clutch area, she's not too bad. So I don't know about that. That may have been where it was exposed semi inside that shaft, but yeah. I'm curious on how the brake works. 2 brakes. This side's pretty stiff, won't do much, but this side you get some movement, so I'm curious how that works. And the clutch you got full movement of, nice and free. Oh Lord, it's a job. Oliver 770, probably a 59 or so. Picked up some free tires in the back of the gray truck there. some free 15.5 by 38s. These are 13.6 by 38. I still have to find an outer rim yet. And yeah, that'll be interesting fitting 15.5s on these things. So, but I mean, there's just what rim. So yeah, this is a job. But yeah, just thought I'd take a peek. I have a good source who said, you know, if you pull the drain plug for the transmission and it drains nothing but water, then good luck. I mean, that's up to you how much money you want to dump into the thing. But in reality, that don't look bad. Neither does the rear diff. And so it's got nothing but rainwater. I'm just wondering where all the oil went, because like I said, there was like no oil draining out whatsoever. So, and I'm looking at all this stuff that, you know, has got gaskets and whatnot, and I'd say good luck finding gaskets for it yet. So that'd be one hell of a lot of Permatex, but it is what it is. Just surprised that bottom plate here is the cover for that wasn't just a cover for the cover. That's how I would have done it, so I didn't mess up the Permatex with sliding that around and everything else. If that ever gets damaged or warped, you know, but it is what it is, I guess. I'm truly thinking I could plop an engine in this thing and we could possibly go out driving. Obviously, the one thing I'm lacking at the moment, I'm really looking forward to, is finding a rim. And a cheap rim at that. I don't want to pay $200 for a rim or nothing like that. It don't need to be the fanciest, prettiest looking rim. It just needs to bolt up into these center rim thingies, and which is going to be fun. Oh. It's going to be fun, but I think we can do it. So, yeah. Shit. It's a little bit of work. A lot of bolts. Don't ask me. Oh, now I remember. Okay, never mind. I remember what that needle came out of, I think. Yeah. Came out of the left thingy. Or the right one. Maybe there's one in both. Maybe there's not only one. I don't know. Pick this thing up here. Oh. Ow. Jeez. There's a steering wheel there. Head meets steering wheel. Steering wheel meet head. Okay, it sits the other way. Why did you have to rotate? Oh, the spring is there yet, eh? Good. Didn't rotate, damn it. Trying to do this one-handed ain't so terribly easy. Rotate. Wrong way. And oh. Surprisingly, there's no gasket on this section. Alright. So I'm glad the spring... Ooh. Take that back. There's no spring. Part of the spring's broken. But maybe we could make a new section and put it on there. But something tells me this isn't supposed to be all bent and everything. I mean, look at how bent up that is. It's saying that this pin was seized and I was forcing it, and that's the shifter that busted off. This one was moving a bit. So I don't know. It'd be interesting, but they're all bent up like, and something tells me they aren't supposed to be like that. Oh well. You don't need that. But I suppose I'm gonna get this thing covered up so it ain't gonna get rained in, and go from there, I guess. We'll have to clean it up, clean the sludge out, which will be interesting doing that. I gotta get this thing. That'll be the time the tractor will magically move, right? This came out of the bottom of out of one of these things. I'm gonna figure out where that goes. Okay. Yeah, I probably should have recorded myself taking this thing apart so I knew where half the bolts are going to go. Not that that's even going to be a remote problem because all the bolts are practically the same exact size. And that is handy dandy. Except some of them are a little bit longer than others, but usually you can tell where those go, so no biggie. But yeah, yeah. So the guy said rain comes through the boots around the shifter, gets down to the hydraulic pump, and then it freezes and blows the bottom of the hydraulic pump out, and then it gets into the transmission, the water. So that's probably what happened. I wouldn't say it was plumb full, but it was full enough. At least the transmission wasn't plumb full, I don't think. But rear diff was just about. But oh well, we'll get her sorted, I guess, maybe. Oh my gosh, I'm tired. Got a headache. I still gotta do stuff. I got a shit ton of tools to put away. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed a little sneak peek into a tractor that's been sitting for 40 years. And 40, not 4, 40. And, or more. I'm going to say 40. Dad's 53, 4, something like that. So, and it's been sitting since he was a kid. So, yeah. 40 some years. And it's just been sitting here collecting water ever since, pretty much. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. God bless.